But hey, welcome to A Bold and Distant Future. My name is Roy, and I'm joined by various voices who discuss the week in the news. We have 20 minutes to discuss what's happening on our planet. Is Eddie out there today? Eddie, are you
Eddie's
there?
out here, no
Hey,
doubt
Eddie.
about it.
Good to hear your voice, Eddie. I'm always glad to have you on board the show to take apart things and look at them with me and explain things to me, Eddie. Please, I don't know what the heck's going on this planet of ours.
Well, the world is spinning and now the gladiolas are blooming. So, you know,
There are good things, and you know what's also blooming are people are blooming these No Kings Day of Defiance. Nationwide Day of Defiance is happening June 14th, and I looked on the No Kings website, nokings.org, which is another place to find information. There are so many happening
thir-
across the country.
1300 last time I looked at it.
It's astounding. People
Yeah,
are there's some kind of wave. This is the new thing. Everyone's got to do no king on their emojis and their text messages and I've added it to the Bold and Distant Future Instagram page at the title. No
there you
king.
go.
Now
Nice lettering.
this is what I this is why I put this up, because I was so impressed with the penmanship. I mean,
Yeah, that is fabulous.
I think this is that Danielian handwriting. My goodness, what wonderful penmanship! And I'm happy to see the art of cursive coming back again. So legible, and it
I was going
appears
to
to.
say, my handwriting got to that point because I had to copy my mother's signature to cut school.
Right, you learned the proper way to handle a pen. Well, there is one more parade happening, and I just wanted to put pictures of other amazing military parades that have happened around the world in this wonderful world of ours.
Do you think our stuff's going to have that beautiful blue and white kind of
Camo?
look? Yeah, that first one did.
Maybe, I don't know. Well, one thing I wanted to put up was the lyrics, and I have it at the end here, to a famous song by Phil Oakes
Oh,
called
Phil
One
Oakes,
One
man.
More Parade. Do you know this song? Hup, two, three, four, marching down the street, rolling of the drums and the tramping of the feet. Generals salute and the mothers wave and weep. Here comes the big parade. Don't be afraid. Price is paid. One more parade. So young, so strong, so ready for the war, so willing to go and die upon a foreign shore. All march together, everybody looks the same, so there's no one you can blame. Don't be ashamed, light the flame, one more parade. Oh, what a wonderful song.
Phil Oakes was great.
He was.
Is he still around?
No, he passed away.
Just checking.
Hey, Harvard is making quite a few of their courses free. Sorry that went by so fast.
Yes, I, as a matter of fact, noticed that and made note. There's a couple that are apparently um, the most popular of all their courses happen to deal with um, the idea of justice. I think that is kind of amazing.
That's pretty good. And let's not forget that 27 psychiatrists saw Trump as a psychopath. And speaking of psychopaths, this guy went nuts. Elon Musk, did you see what he was texting back and forth with Donald Trump?
Yes,
Holy mackerel, a
including the
disgusting.
latest accusation that the Epstein files contain significant references to Mr. Trump.
I'm sure they do.
Whoops, I said the name, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. I don't care if you say his name. It doesn't bother me. The disgusting abomination.
Yes.
I think that's going to be my poster for the No Kings March. Disgusting abomination. That's it. Yep. Now, this is very interesting. Speaking of Elon Musk, Elizabeth Warren has put out a or has a website or something connected to her that is 130 days of Elon Musk and the Trump administration. It's worth a glance, and it's good as a reference if people don't know about it, because she lists, this is the table of contents, she lists like a daily thing that he has done.
Is this on her website?
If you just Google 130 days of Elon Musk, you'll find it. It
Okay.
may be on her website somehow. But it goes down, and I won't put them all up here, but it's just, Trump and Musk turn the White House lawn into a Tesla showroom.
Yeah.
That's number one. And it goes
Yeah.
on and on and on, and all the different things he's trying to, or tried to accomplish with his, leveraging of power. Crazy.
Yeah, this is, as one of the headlines this morning said, the name Harvey Milk will never be removed from San Francisco.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing they're trying to do is remove the name Harvey Milk from one of the naval vessels. And he was a Navy man. He served. And then they were also considering removing the names like the Thurgood Marshall, the Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Harriet Tubman, Dolores Huerta, Lucy Stone. I don't know who that is. She's their Chavez, Medgar Evers.
I didn't know all these people had ships named after them.
I didn't either. Gives me some hope that they were named in the first place, huh? House Republicans include a 10-year ban on states regulating AI in the big, beautiful bill.
Johnson tried to call Musk. Apparently, this was on A Closer Look, and there was a little clip that said, "Yeah, I tried to call him and he didn't pick up." I'm just like,
right.
okay.
Yeah, you don't have me anymore. Sorry. Well, Marjorie Taylor Greene didn't know that the AI provision was in there, and she's
The
against
problem
it.
is, of course, that you have to read the bill, and it's unlikely that any of the Republicans really read the bill. There's several people that have lamented this.
I'd like to know the timeline of how that happened. How they. Now, this is troubling. This is the ICE portion of the show. We always seem to talk about ICE around here, but one of Trump's ICE agents, thugs in Martha's Vineyard, was sporting a well-known fascist symbol called a Valknut. These are gang tattoos that we should be concerned about. You can see it there on his elbow. He has this symbol. So where are they recruiting these ICE agents from? Where do they find these guys? And then
Maybe the 1,600 people that got pardoned from
yeah, they also were sent
capital assault.
an application in their packet. So here is this Valknut tattoo, which you should be aware of. This symbol doesn't have to be a tattoo. It's 3 interlocking triangles, and I don't know what the symbology. It's a Germanic symbol, but it is something that is favored amongst fascist organizations. This is from the Anti-Defamation League, where they talked about it here. The Valknut, or knot of the slain, is an old Norse symbol, not Germanic, maybe Norse, that often represented the afterlife or in carvings and designs. It's often considered a symbol of the Norse god Odin. Non-racist pagans may also use this symbol. One should carefully examine it in context rather than assume that a particular use is racist. So some people may not use it for racist reasons, but many do. A lot of white supremacists have adopted it.
I think if you flip it over, it could be the symbol that was hunted for in a mad, 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 mad world.
The big W.
Exactly.
That's one of my favorite movies.
It's a fun movie. For
I have it on DVD. Come on over. We'll have a movie night.
Cool. Popcorn?
Yeah, why
I
not?
like it.
Sure. I love that movie. Anyway, I like to be aware of this stuff in case, you happen to spot it, at the,
Like
wrong-
on the elbow of an ICE agent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as you're being thrown to the ground and back into his, the back end of a vehicle, unmarked car. Jeez. Many Americans are standing up to the ICE agents in the streets. They're doing this thing where they call people out and say, "There's ICE agents on such and such street. Get out here." And they come out and they try to block and protest.
Yeah,
Which is,
it's an ongoing thing. We have been part of a group that's um, meeting over these ICE issues, and there was a similar thing to this photo you have in our little town, if you can believe that. I'm sure
wow.
there will be more because this county is quite agricultural, as you know.
Right. But I mean, getting in the way of their progress is, if it's nonviolent, is within our rights. And
It is within our rights because they are grabbing people without the proper warrant. They have this, I think we said this once before, they have a
yeah.
paper they've made themselves, which is not a proper warrant signed by a judge, and that makes it illegal.
hmm Here are ICE agents in full tactical gear in a raid in San Diego restaurants, and they
Yes.
threw a flashbang grenade into the crowd. I mean, I haven't seen them this geared up before with that weaponized. It seems like they normally are in street clothes, but this is like machine gun carrying. Well, maybe they're not machine guns, some kind of automatic weapons. We're turning into a police state. Maybe we already have. Gee. I put these images up just to remind people of what's going on.
The land of the free.
What was that? The land of the who?
The land of the free and the home of the brave.
Yeah, land of the free. Yeah. With liberty and justice for all.
You bet.
Ha ha ha. Well, this was also a very troubling thing. Homeland Security cops handcuffed one of Representative Nadler's aides in a chaotic day at a New York federal building. They went into his offices and handcuffed somebody. It's like the goons are going right into he's a Democratic senator, congressman. And it's an intimidation technique,
Well, that's a big part of what they're trying to do.
They're sending these shockwaves and messages.
Exactly.
But I don't know what happened to the person who was handcuffed and taken away. But I need to look into that. Here it is. Trump admin raids Democratic congressional office and handcuffs aide. Who's a congressman.
Yeah.
DHS, Department of Homeland. This guy's not wearing a mask.
No, that's surprising.
Yeah, it is surprising.
The other interesting thing is I haven't seen any real press on this in our local papers. However, the big deal is the fact that one of the people that was sent out of the country by ICE agents was brought back, and there's boatloads of headlines about that
I haven't seen that one.
just this morning.
Yeah, it's gone too far.
You
Can
think
we say that? Yes, we can say that.
it started out too far?
It went out right off the bang. It went off too far. Jeez. But it's. I mean, people are saying it's Gestapo tactics, and it is. Now, this is a interesting one. It's Newsweek was putting out this thing. Donald Trump's reported database move sparks alarm as being dystopian. And it has to do with a company that he's giving over data to manage it, but the company's run by that fellow Peter Thiel,
Oh God.
who basically financed J.D. Vance's campaign.
He not only financed his campaign, he groomed him for the whole thing because his
Yeah.
kind of meteoric rise was totally put together by Thiel.
Mm.
He hasn't been on the scene that long, Vance.
Yeah, it's like it was a very quick rise to, I mean, how long was he? Was he a senator? No, he was a governor. Was he a governor or a senator
I
before
think he
he?
was a senator, but it was only
Yeah.
for a couple of years, and it was like he came out of nowhere. He had no experience, and Thiel backed the whole thing and made it happen.
Right. Well, the company's name is Plaintier, I think. And I don't know the full story on it, but it looks like they want to give over all the data, a huge chunk of the U.S. government's data to this company of his. How do you say it? Palantir, I think.
Palantir. Oh,
Palantir.
isn't that the name of one of the heavies in Star Wars?
I think
Emperor
it's
Palantir.
also comes from Tolkien.
Oh,
I think maybe Planetary with an I at the end or something. There's some kind of relationship of that name, I think, to Tolkien writings.
I think I can't remember, but maybe it's Palatine?
Yeah,
I
that's Star Wars. But former Palantir workers condemned the company's work with Trump administration, and a bunch of them got together and wrote a letter warning of the dangers of this collaboration, shall we call it? I don't know what else to call it. This handing over of data to this private company.
The selling out of America to
The selling out. Right. Thank you, Diddy.
another one of the billionaires in the mix.
Yeah, he's getting his slice of the pie. It's like the lockdown or the total control.
That you know what though that brings up for me the issue of the incredible drop that Tesla is going through as a result of all this stuff that is happening with between Musk and Trump.
Yeah. That's an interesting point. This is the letter that was written by these people, and it basically says they write it to Speaker Johnson and Jeffries and Schumer. We write to urge you to oppose the provision in the House Energy and Commerce Committee's budget reconciliation text that we would put a moratorium on the enforcement of the state artificial intelligence AI legislation for the next 10 years. So they're also talking about this AI thing, I think.
Have
Anyway,
you played with it at all?
AI?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with ChatGPT a little bit just for fun. I mean, it's a very amazing technology.
I have not, but one of the
Oh.
women down at the art studio came in saying she asked ChatGPT for a solution to a glaze that had developed a crawl in firing, and it gave her like 3 protocols to follow, being percentages and everything. And I'm like, whoa, maybe there's something to this.
They can do some good things used correctly. I mean, I had it help me write a few documents for my condo board. There was a letter we wanted to send out to all the owners of all the units, and it was like a survey basically, and it wrote me a perfect survey. I only had to tweak a couple of things afterwards, but it was like it would have taken me hours and hours, and it wrote it in like 10 seconds. Felt like boop. But you have to give it a perfectly worded sentence
Yes.
with all the details that you want, and then ChatGPT will spit out a very good answer.
That's what I've heard, that because this is coming up obviously in education, and it's all about your questions that you ask and how specific you are to get the results that you want.
Right. Well, I mean, you can get ChatGPT. You can sign up for it or whatever. It doesn't cost anything at the introductory level. And I just played with it for a while. Well,
for the spinning world.
the spinning world, we have a couple of minutes to kind of summarize the week here. And the thing you were alluding to, the Elon Musk thing, is I think in some ways he might be coming out so strong against Trump to try to maybe save his brand. You know what I mean?
I was almost wondering if the entire thing was orchestrated. That being said, the precipitous fall of his stock is, it shows that some of this is out of their control. And that is true in Europe too. That was the interesting thing. I was looking at a couple of articles in the last couple of days, and Europe has abandoned the brand too, which is extraordinary when you think about it. It's not just the US.
Yeah, I think I don't know how he calculated this, and maybe he doesn't calculate. He just does things on whim. Maybe that's how he operates, sort of in a Trumpian fashion, where he just does what he thinks he wants to and doesn't think about the consequences. But I think people around him maybe said, "Hey, you better divorce yourself from this Trump character, or you're going down big time, and you're losing everything." But what's that?
I was going to say there's been numerous articles that have talked about drug abuse.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's on ketamine and
Ketamine, ecstasy, and mushrooms. And I'm like, well, okay. Apparently ketamine to the point of having bladder issues, which apparently it does in high doses.
yeah. He's a strange character.
Agreed.
It's a circus out there. Well, thank you for slogging through the week's stories in this quick 20 minutes. I feel better already having talked with you, Eddie. I really appreciate it. And I want to thank anyone out there listening to A Bold and Distant Future. Come back again, please. Take care, Eddie.
Have a great week.
You too. Have a wonderful week.